Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. My name is Grandmaster Doge, and I am a professional Warzone commentator. And in this video, I break down all of the teams underneath the captain Nadeshot. So make sure you check this one out. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is going to win this event from maybe Nadeshot's 10 teams? And also, we've got a video up on this YouTube channel for every single captain in their 10 squads. So check that out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Team Nadeshot. Nadeshot's playing with Kenny and Slasher, two 100 Thieves CDL players. I don't know. He went for these like CDL players to start. Like his first couple picks were CDL players, which in my opinion doesn't make a lot of sense. Again, I'm still kind of on this, like, if it's a linear line of our CDL players good at Warzone, just on the basis of them being good at Call of Duty because it's the same mechanics, I'm on the line of like slightly to the no. And I think the reason I say that is because they don't have, like I was saying earlier, they don't have the overall knowledge of exactly how Warzone works in all of its different manners, or are prepared for all the different types of fights you can have in Warzone. So talking about some of these teams, there are some really good teams on his list. I will say, for picking fairly poorly, he actually has some okay teams. And by okay, I mean Symphony, Mutex, and, as he said, Joe Woo. This is a really strong team. I think Joe Wo's kind of theme is this movement king type vibe. And in a private match lobby where you're not competing against bots, I don't know how well he'll perform comparatively. Joe Wo's extremely talented, don't get me wrong. His gun skill is amazing. His IQ is awesome. His movement king abilities are super effective in Pokemon terms, if you will, against normal public race, like public match lobbies, because a normal, 1.5 KD Timmy like me, or even a 2 KD player, right, it's really difficult to try to track and know the movement of somebody that's going to be doing movement like he does. I think he can win some 1v1s. I think you're right, Flowers. But in terms of a high level team looking at Joe, I think anybody's gonna be able to track and play against Joe as well as anybody else. So I don't think he's going to necessarily like shine in a private match scene as much, if that makes sense. Symphony, however, is mechanically one of the most skilled players I've watched. He has insane aim, can certainly play well. It's going to be a mental thing for him, whether he's locked in and checked in or not. I mean, he's a great player. He played in some early tournaments in Warzone, and he playing with Joe and Mutex, he's got great teammates to back him up. I think he could do well, especially like frying people from distances, setting himself up in buildings. But Mutex is probably going to be leading the charge a little bit in this scene, as long as he can stay. Honestly, I think it's going to be a mental thing here. I think it's going to be a mental thing. This is the thing I was talking about earlier about like the mental capacity to like stay patient and things like that. Mutex and Symphony are both like have the ability to be tilted really quickly. Joe is usually the guy that's like, all right, guys, we're going to regame. We're going to get back into it. Let's keep going. And so he's going to keep trying to rally Symphony and Mutex if things start going poorly. And they're going to have to make the decision to like relock it back in. Because with 6 games in private matches, you might drop a goose egg at 0, literally game 1. And you can easily still win the tournament if you drop some massive game in game 5 or 6 or anything like that. So I'll be interested to watch this team. I think gun skilled wise, IQ wise for Warzone, this is definitely up there in the top 5 for sure. And it's just be a matter of if they can perform in a private match. I would say this is probably, it wasn't really underrated, but I was surprised how many people were not talking about this team right here. Pieman, Blast, and Tfue. Blastides is his old name. He goes by Blast now, and Nade was calling him Blastides because they had some, friendship back in the day, competing against each other. Blastides has really made his way back into Warzone and been doing really well in tournaments recently. He's a high skilled player, knows Warzone in and out now. He's like, I didn't even know him from the CDL days. I knew him from the Warzone days. That's how much he's been involved in Warzone. And Pieman has been a grinder for a long time in Warzone, in the top 5 or 6 or so for kills, and has been playing a lot with Kaylee, and he's done really well in private match tournaments as well as normal tournaments. And then you add on Tfue, who is the Battle Royale king, as some would say, has played Warzone for a while, stopped playing Warzone, has come back to Warzone and just randomly decided, hey, I'm going to be the best player, or one of the best players in the game. And he's been performing at a pretty high level, especially in private matches. The things that I've seen him play when he plays a private match, he plays very smart. He understands how a Battle Royale works and how it's going to be won. So I think this team could do very well in this tournament. But I think it could be pretty swingy. If they don't get, if things don't start going their way, I could see Tfue getting extremely frustrated and something happening. So I'll be interested to see how that team does. Sleeper picks here. Amps, Ebates, and Sure Angel, all three very strong players, kind of infamous squad, sort of. Amps back in the day knew Nadeshot from like Game Battles days, but Ebates is kind of a younger guy over in the community that we know. He's been performing at a pretty high level in Warzone tournaments recently, actually. I think he won some tournament recently. I can't remember which one it was, but pretty strong player. Sure Angel's the same way. This could be a sleeper pick that could do some damage for sure. Methods, Ricky, and Slack could be pretty decent. And then our CDL teams up the top. Jay Smooth got kind of the short end of the stick in the draft, if you guys watched it. He's not a bad player at all, but he got done the dirty by Swag. It was so funny, man. And they ended up picking him up. I know who Redmond's Lions is. He's a streamer partner on Twitch. He's a fairly strong player. I don't know Spreezy as well. And then It's Live, Slim Slay, and Limbo. I don't know. But this is a pretty solid squad. It's not as bad as everybody gave him credit for. I think they have some big enough teams that could do some damage that it could bring up their team average for sure.